entering ward territory, Stalker. You have no business being here, you hear me? Turn around and get lost.
I've got a permit from Colonel Korshinov.
Are we hiring stalkers now, too? Whatever. As long as you can help. Come on in. The commander's in the main building. We've got an infirmary there now.
I would not recommend doubling the dosage. These medications have a cumulative...
Captain, do it.
This is not the wisest course of action.
Expecting any help from you wasn't the wisest course of action. You've been here for 2 weeks, and my men are only getting worse.
Sometimes we have to let the patient get a little worse in order to figure out what's wrong with him. I have the situation firmly in hand.
That's what worries me. Circa promised me the best expert in the field. Where is he? Who's going to tell me what happened to my men?
I am. But it'll take time. Have some patience, Captain. Your doctor has all the medications we need, and my devices are monitoring the situation. You will be the first to know.
Unless I lose my marbles myself first. That's it. I'm done waiting. You're dismissed, Doc. Stalker? How did you get in here?
One of your men is a rat.
One of my men? Bullshit.
I intercepted a message about a plot to sabotage Icarus. It was sent over an old frequency, a monolithian one. Just like the PDA the traitor used to communicate.
If it's old, we can trace it. I bet it's Krivenko. He puts his shitty gadgets all over the place, thinking we'd never put 2 and 2 together. All right, here's the plan. I'll send my soldiers for a walk around the camp, just in case. You get rid of the antennas. They'll jam any direction finder.
Who's Krivenko? Why do you suspect him?
You just saw him. That circle rat. That bozo showed up as soon as my men started hearing things, with papers signed by Dalin himself. And I never even sent a request to Circa. He hasn't done a damn thing in 2 weeks other than set up his locators to monitor the situation. I trust my soldiers, but not those Circa crooks.
The last guy who did is probably still somewhere in these trees.
What's the purpose of these antennas?
On paper, to monitor the level of anomalous exposure. As for what they really do, your guess is as good as mine. If not for the papers from Dalin, I'd toss Krivenko into the nearest anomaly myself. Then he can measure the exposure on his own ass till the cows come home.
I want to talk to Krivenko first.
Go ahead, and don't forget to talk to our quartermaster afterwards. He could spin a whole platoon's worth of briefs out of the wool Krivenko's gonna pull over your eyes.
A stalker at Icarus. These are desperate times indeed. How are you feeling? Any headaches? Dizziness, perhaps? I wish I had the proper equipment to read your Psi signature. Given the circumstances, it never hurts to have a control sample.
Psi signature? What's that?
How can I explain it in a way even a stalker could understand? Let's say it's like your brain's fingerprint. It's not quite a scientific explanation, but it gets the point across.
So what exactly is going on here anyway?
Psi exposure of unidentified origin and power, and unidentified consequences. Unidentified for now, but I'm working on it.
I've been informed that there's a traitor in the ward. He probably has Monolith connections. Can you help me find him?
Monolith? Impossible. I would have noticed for sure. But if you insist, let's run another check. I'll need up-to-date readings from the scanning antennas in order to find your traitor. Unless, of course, you are just imagining him. That's the order of the day around here.
How would your data help us figure out what's going on?
Don't get me wrong. I could explain everything, of course, but why bother? If you wanted to listen to my lectures, you'd be a scientist, not a stalker. Just bring the data to me, and I'll do what I was sent here to do.
Deal. I'll get your data.
It's a pleasure working with you, Stalker. Here's a recording device. Tell me if you start feeling unwell. Remember, I'm here to help.
Well, well, looks like Krivenko's got himself a new assistant. Those slackers from the Institute sure like to ride other people's coattails.
Hey, this spot's mine. It's easier to breathe here. Just don't tell anybody, okay? I'm not telling anyone. And you don't tell anyone about this spot either.
I got all 3 reports. Laugh if you want, Stalker, but it seems like you were right. Icarus may indeed be exposed to the influence from outside.
Have you found the traitor?
Not exactly, but I did find an interesting disturbance in the Psi field, here in the camp. So much for the much vaunted ward. I remember Senkevich puffing out his chest when he said his most trusted man, Shtarev, had checked everything and that the threat was clearly coming from outside the camp. Follow these coordinates. I'll have security let you in. If the thing beneath Icarus is what I think it is, I want you to leave it alone, but make sure you get a reading from it.
me! Ha! Keep him pinned!
How did it go?
Not bad. I found a strange device.
Just as I thought. That, my friend, is a Psi beacon. Old monolith technology, with a few recent modifications.
So it was altered? How?
Based on what I can see right off the bat, the power has been reduced, but the frequency range has been significantly expanded. And whoever made the modifications knew exactly what they were doing. I'll have to make some adjustments to my preliminary calculations. Was there anything else, Stalker?
How did the Psi beacon end up there?
How does anything end up anywhere? Someone put it there. If the signatures I have read with your assistance are to be believed, this one was put there by Lieutenant Shteref. The same Shteref who was supposed to check the underground area on Senkiewicz's orders. Korshunov's gonna have a long talk with the captain, I'm sure.
Get to the point.
It's pretty simple. Lieutenant Shteref's Psi signature is nearly identical to those we have taken from the former Monolithians. Can you believe it?
From the ward to monolith? How is that possible?
Not monolith itself, of course. The monolith is long gone, but someone clearly has Shteref under their control. If the lieutenant is taken alive, I'll find out who it is. There are ways, you know.
Do you know where the lieutenant is?
I can take a guess. My colleagues at Echo Station are doing similar research, and they picked up an interesting signature recently. I didn't think much of it before. There are lots of people roaming the swamps after all, but now I know who it is. It's a good thing Circa expeditions are always accompanied by a security detail. I believe Shteref will be detained soon. Still, you'd better hurry up.
Happiness requires sacrifice. I know you understand this.
It's all right. We're almost there. I just need to turn it on. I had to do it. He's right. You're a scientist. You have to understand me. The small must not stand in the way of the great.
What are you talking about? Who is he?
Have you ever felt needed? Like you're not alone anymore? I never have. Not until he spoke to me.
Why did you turn against your own men? What did they promise you?
Acceptance. Purpose. Not the false purpose of the ward. A real purpose. Happiness.
Lieutenant, wake up. I've got something that'll help you come to your senses.
I don't want to wake up, Stalker. I want to go to him. I want to be happy again. He went silent. And then those rats from Circa didn't want to reach you in the antenna. I had to do it. Don't you understand? I'm almost done, Stalker. I'm sorry, but I can't leave any witnesses.
You're a tenacious one, soldier. Ruthless, too. There are no better qualities for those who walk his path. You've earned the right to hear me once more. On a ship bound for nowhere is a guide who's trying to stay